Hello guys, today I'm going to be making a real versus fake video on a Supreme S logo, seeing as no one's actually made a video yet about them. I think it's very important that I do get this video out to you guys, just because of the fact that S logos, replicas are starting to circulate. I've got I got two Vietnam 6 panels in this video as well, just because I don't know if they will eventually start faking the Vietnam hats, so I thought I'd include them in the video. I've also got I've also got two Palace 6 panels, just because there are some similarities actually to the replica Supreme S logo to that Palace panels, which I'm going to show in this video. It's basically, if you guys, I'm not going to do too much talking about these fakes, but basically this is the fake S logo. Okay, so the strap, basically all these hats, I've got the strap measured so it will fit my head. So basically, if you have a look through all these S logos, they've all got the same length of the strap, okay? So this is pretty much what fits my head perfectly, and you all notice that they all fit. They've all got the same length, except this one has got easily an extra inch length. Also, the buckle is pretty much on point, I'd say. The only thing you can spot is this strap. Okay, it's a lot thicker, doesn't smell like leather, and it's longer, and it's just not right. It's cheap, but the buckle is pretty much on point. I've compared the buckle, and there's nothing much else you can spot about it. The thing you can to spot these fakes, pretty much, there's not a lot you can go through, but I will be showing them. Okay. So here we go. So as you can see, this is the replica, the burgundy, and you can see in this that you've got the pattern of the cotton, and on the left side of this panel at the back it goes down, and on the right side it goes diagonal from left to right. Branded hats, I'm trying to think. I think I've got a couple of my Ralph Lauren caps, Tommy Hilfiger caps. They also have this same pattern where it goes on the left down and on the right diagonal. Okay, I'm not saying that those Palace panels, Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger caps, they are real, obviously, but Supreme do it slightly different. They do the back left panel diagonal from right to left, and then the right one goes down. Okay, that is one of the biggest ways you're going to be able to spot these fake S logos. Another way is, I did measure the S. Okay, so basically if you're measuring from corner to corner, that is 2 inches, okay, corner to corner. But if you're doing it with a real one, it is 2.1 inch, okay. So I know it's 0.1 of an inch, but you can significantly see it comparing it to these two, okay. Also the brim, as you guys probably have spotted, the brim is a lot shorter. I can get a tape measure here and measure that as well. So that is about 1 inch to the first seam. With a real one, it is almost 1.5, just under 1.5 inches. Okay, so these brims are a lot shorter. They're pretty much just a lot shorter. Also, I'm going to go through the patterns again. So as you can see on a real one, the left panel from the front, the cotton goes from top right to bottom left on the left side, and on the right side it kind of follows a similar pattern, but it's not as exaggerate, I'd say. Yeah, okay. And the fake one, sorry, the left panel literally just goes straight down, and the right panel goes diagonal right. Obviously this pan, which on the real one does follow on each S logo, diagonal right, and slightly, this right one isn't dead straight, it's slightly diagonal as well. It's not as, so yeah, you can see there. Also on the Vietnam, you see it does the same thing, okay? Also going from the inside of the hat, okay, so I'll try and focus this in for you. This panel here, okay, dead white. I'll show you for the other one as well. This is like almost a kind of half see-through cotton, like it's just a bit, it doesn't feel too bad, it's kind of see-through, okay, whereas it should be like this, dead white, okay. Also another good way, actually, this is kind of, depends on, I don't know if the burgundy does have this. Obviously I don't have a real burgundy. The you know where you can see the lettering embroidered on, this embroidery does have white. I don't know what the real burgundy one does, but for the steel blue it's white under the embroidery, like the I don't know what it's called. Olive is black, royal blue is black. I don't know what the replicas are, but you can compare that. These, the royal blue, olive and steel blue, obviously real. Also, another important thing is these replicas, which I actually think the replica is better in this way, is the replica has perforation. Let me try and get that. So it has perforation in the inside of the hat. So this is where it, okay. Whereas the real ones have, and if any of you have been collecting hats for a while, I think New Era do this as well, and this actually over time does start to crack, but the real ones have, it's simply just a hard material, it's no perforation, and that's why I was going to also compare the Palace hats. The Palace hats also have perforation, so this is why I did bring obviously the Palace hats in. So yeah, these replicas, that's the one good thing about these replicas is probably the perforation. If any of you want S logos, these aren't any high-tech hats. These do actually get, I find, get my head really warm in the summer. Obviously it's the summer right now. I reckon these perforations would actually help keep your head cooler. Shame Supreme didn't use that technology. I know it's nothing fancy. This is the label on the replica. Okay, the stitching. That is the stitching. Okay, to be fair, these labels are pretty much on point. There's nothing really you're gonna be. I wouldn't go comparing these S logos purely off this label. Obviously, the real one is a lot neater. It's not double stitched or anything. They haven't gone back over the tag. Also, another thing, when I got this replica, I actually did end up cutting some of the excess bits of there was excess bits of the brim, pretty much. You can kind of see where I've cut it off. There was excess bits of the brim inside of the hat, and I kind of thought, no, I've got to get rid of that. I had to cut them off, just because it was awful. If you go through these replicas, they've got, look at this, it's ridiculous. You got, obviously, to be fair, the price, these are £18, these replicas. I'm not going to say where I got them from. It doesn't take too much to figure out where you got them from if you're into Supreme. But yeah, there's just cotton hanging around everywhere. Whereas these real ones, really, as you can see, what Supreme do is they, in the inside of the hats, I'm trying to focus it. What they do is they've got this black seam where what they do is where they cut in the inside of the hat, they pretty much tidy it up with this black seam. All the real ones have it. And yeah, I'm trying to think of some more ways of spotting these fakes. Obviously, the real ones, I wouldn't say purely go off by this, but they are flimsier. But I have, it's one of my favourite S logos. They do get flimsy after wearing them. Obviously, I've got these two corduroy ones. This one has been worn probably 5 times, and this one I bought second hand. It's a lot flimsier. Obviously, it's been worn a lot more. So obviously, if you're buying it new, they should be. This one I haven't worn. This S logo, I haven't actually worn this. It's very stiff. Needs to be broken in. This one's been broken in. You see, it's been worn quite a bit. But this is brand new. It's got a tag on it, and it is flimsy. To be fair, I don't really see hat being flimsy isn't a negative. Obviously, it's a way of spotting the replica though. I will try and include some pictures maybe of the hat being worn on my head, but these S logos are pretty appalling once you have put them on your head. If you have a look through here, you can actually see the stitching of the hat. Here we go. See the stitching on the brim, whereas the real ones obviously don't have any of that. It's all tucked in. It's all really nice and neat. When you put these, I did try this on this replica, and you think, oh, in pictures they look quite good. But to be honest, guys, I wouldn't bother wasting your money on buying a replica purely because of the fact that if I was you, I'd rather contribute it to a real S logo. These, obviously, you can see these S logos. The brim's been slightly bent, but you can see what happens with it. Kind of comes in, it concaves. See it with these. This also had a bent brim, but it's just round. It's almost like a mushroom. Kind of similar to if you have a look at old vintage Tommy Hilfiger hats. Technology back in the day wasn't as good, so they couldn't make good quality hats. Whereas these, they are obviously retail. These do retail for £40, but the quality is very good. They obviously are actually made in USA. Where these say they're made in USA, they're just made in some Chinese factory. But you can easily see from the shape. There, obviously, I'm going to go for, you can see little differences if you pause the video, sorry. The middle seam does have a different pattern. So the middle seam of a real one, on the left side of the panel, it goes diagonal, and on the right side, it goes down. This pattern follows on all real ones, and on the fake one, it goes down on the left inseam, obviously, and the right side it goes to the diagonal right. Just going through the panels. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the S logos. Obviously, the Vietnam hats also have the exact same seams and little bits. If I was you guys, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't bother buying any of these replica S logos. Obviously, be careful when you're buying online. I'd make sure to buy from reputable people. Make sure you're checking little things such as like reputation and making sure that the seller's legit. I wouldn't worry about these replica S logos. These S logos are nowhere near, not even close, once you receive one in person and see one in person, to even being close to these real S logos. The quality is pretty much what you pay for, obviously, and just be careful out there, guys. Make sure that obviously you're doing your research on the sellers. These are starting to circulate on eBay and other auction sites, and I've recently saw a fake black S logo. I think a lot of people know about it. Sell for £80 on eBay, and these sellers are just, they're trying to catch you guys out. Obviously, once you watch this video, it's going to be pretty easy to figure out, and you got to remember that these hats did retail for £40 or $44. So you guys just need to think to yourself, if something seems a bit too good to be true in a price, or just it most likely is too good to be true. A lot of these hats people don't actually buy to resell. Stuff like the olive and the burgundy S logo, people like me bought the hat to wear, not to resell. So finding them on the internet is going to be kind of hard. Obviously, these are rare hats, or it is Supreme, but just keep an eye out, guys. I don't want anyone to get scammed. That's the reason why I did make this video. This replica, it came today, and I've already sold it to someone. Obviously, I did tell the person it was a replica. Just bought it purely for the fact that I want to make this YouTube video and make sure you guys don't get scammed, okay? So, yeah, anything else, just leave a comment in the video. Don't know if I did go over this, I think I did, but all the fakes do have a tag, $44. It is crazy. These tags are really good, to be honest. But yeah, another thing is the obviously this replica. You know, the perforation holes that do go around the hat. Not all of them, especially these two front ones, aren't actually. They're not holes. They've got cotton going through them. Is obviously easily a much cleaner cut. If you have a look, one of my favourite hats is the Royal Blue S logo, but the problem is, this is a real one. You can notice the S is actually slightly wonky, and if you have a look, I'll try and focus it. You can see can you see it? Basically, the inseam, the middle inseam, the double, where it follows straight down. The S actually overhangs nearly all of it, whereas this one, it's a much cleaner cut. But this one's a lot closer to that middle inseam, and this actually does really put me off this hat sometimes, because yeah, it's very wonky compared to, see that one. But this is just a factory fault. Do not determine a real S logo by simply a factory fault. Obviously, these S logos do have some little faults that do happen to them, such as this hat. I find after a while the buckle does actually come a bit loose. Obviously, if you're buying it used, stuff like that does happen, as the leather does get torn into from the buckle, so it does start to become looser. So don't worry about stuff like that, guys. These hats do get worn. That's pretty much all I've got left to say in this video. If you guys enjoy the video, just give it a like. Give it to anyone who's got any hesitance about buying an S logo. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.